All right, the FSA, Flexible Spending Account, and the HSA, Health Savings Account. They sound a lot alike, right? Well, they've got some similarities in that whatever money that's going in, hey, that's tax-free. That's great. And they are designed to be used for medical expenses like copays. And that's where pretty much the similarities stop, because there's a lot of major differences between these two type of accounts. So let's get into it.
And now, That Financial Guy Show with Keith Wilson.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. My name's Keith Wilson. I'm a practicing financial advisor here helping people along their personal finance journey. Let's get into the differences between these two accounts. FSA, Flexible Spending Account, HSA, Health Savings Account. First of all, let's talk about ownership. Who owns these accounts? Well, with a flexible spending account, not everybody can just open one up. That's set up by your employer. Your employer sets that plan up and offers it to you to make contributions to. The employer is the one that owns that account, not you. So if you retired or you quit, you got fired or whatever money's in that FSA, you can't take it with you. However, the HSA, Health Savings Account, the only way you can open up an HSA, it's got to be paired with a high deductible health insurance plan. So if you don't have a high deductible health insurance plan, you can't really have an HSA. But let's say you do. So you have this HSA account paired with the health insurance, and it's really basically money that you're putting into it. It's in a savings type of an account, and you have a debit card, so you can use that to pay for your medical expenses, copays, or whatever until your high deductible plan is met. But the key is you own that account. So if you left your employer, it doesn't matter. You take it with you. You retired, you still have it to be used for medical expenses. So ownership is a big key. Another one is contribution limits. How much can you put in to these type of accounts? So with the FSA or the flexible spending account, the maximum you can contribute in 2022 is $2,850. With the HSA, the maximum contribution amount that you can put into is $3,650, and that again, that's in 2022. They change these amounts from year to year. But also, if it's a household with an HSA, your contribution amount is doubled to $7,300. And if you're over 55, you can contribute an additional $1,000. Now, so let's say you set up this and you say, I want to deduct X number of dollars from my paycheck to go into the FSA for first. Can you change that throughout the year? And the answer is no. You can only change it during a certain enrollment period. Once you make that decision, what's going in can't be changed until the enrollment period. HSA, you can change it whenever you want. Doesn't matter. Now, keep in mind, you can't make more than the contribution limits. Now, HSAs, they have an investment component to it. So you can set up that HSA to have some of this money be invested instead of just sitting there. The FSA does not offer any investment component. It just sits there. Remember, it's the employer. But again, with the HSA, you can invest it. It's almost like a 401k. They have a little list of options that you can choose from. The biggest difference, I think, is FSA, Flexible Spending Account. That is a use it or lose it proposition. In other words, if you're making these contributions throughout the end of the year, and if you don't use it for medical expenses, it's gone. The next year, it's gone. The employer keeps it. Now, there's a caveat. Some employers will let you have a grace period of maybe a couple more months going into the next year, or maybe some of them say, well, we'll roll over $500. With the HSA, it is not a use it or lose it situation. Any amount that's left in the HSA account, next year it carries over into the next year. So it can build and build and build. So that's very important. Another thing is, what about access to the money? Let's say throughout the year you're kind of stuck. You got an emergency. You don't have an emergency fund like I preached about, but something comes up. You got to lay your hands on the money. Can you pull money out of the flexible savings account for non-medical expenses? And the answer is no. The only way you can pull money out is for a reimbursement for medical expense. HSA, you can pull money out, but you're going to be penalized 20%, and you got to pay taxes on. Can I have both? Can I have an FSA and an HSA? And the answer is typically no, you can't have both. Remember, the employer sets up the FSA, HSA, you've got to have a high deductible health plan. Normally you can't have both. There is an exception. You could have an HSA account, and if your employer offers a limited purpose flexible spending account that can be used for maybe vision or dental or dependent child care, that is a possibility. But for the most part, you cannot have both. So you've come here to asking, well, Keith, okay, which one's better? Is the FSA better than the HSA? Which one do I choose? And the answer is sometimes you don't have a choice. If your employer doesn't offer an FSA, flexible spending account, you can't open one on your own. On the other hand, HSA, if you don't have a high deductible health plan, you can't have an HSA account. I would say this, HSAs do offer really a lot more flexibility and the investment component to it, higher contribution limits, things like that. But some people can't get past having a high deductible health plan, so you got to take that into consideration. Hey, I hope this helps you. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to the channel so you can keep up with other videos that I post. I post some pretty much every single week. Give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm so I can get that message out there, spreading a wealth of information, helping folks along their personal finance journey. Hope to see you back soon.